Olivia, a beautiful, intelligent Nigerian girl, has always dreamed of studying abroad. When she received a scholarship to attend a prestigious university in Korea, she was over the moon. Little did she know that her arrival would stir up quite a storm. Minho, the top student in his class, has always prided himself on his academic achievements. He was used to being the best, and his classmates admired and respected him. This was until Olivia walked into the classroom. From the moment Olivia introduced herself, Minho felt a pang of irritation. She was confident, she was very beautiful, and she was undeniably brilliant. It didn't take long for her to start outperforming him in their classes, and Minho's competitive nature couldn't handle it. Their first encounter was in the library. Olivia was engrossed in a thick textbook when Minho approached her. "You're sitting in my spot," he said, his tone clicked. Olivia looked up, raising an eyebrow. "I didn't see your name on it," she said. Minho's jaw tightened. "Everyone knows this is where I study." "Well, I guess it's time for you to change," Olivia replied, turning back to her books. From that moment on, their interactions were marked with bickering and competition between the both. In every class, they tried to outdo each other, whether it was answering questions or passing their exams or presenting projects. Their classmates watched in amusement as the two top students competed between themselves. Despite the competition, there was an undeniable chemistry between Olivia and Minho. Their competition was laced with tension, and their competitive nature only fueled their attraction. One evening, they found themselves in the library again, both working on a challenging assignment. Minho glanced over at Olivia, who was scribbling in her notebook. "Need help?" he asked. Olivia shot a look. "I can handle it, thank you." "Sure you can," Minho replied, leaning closer. "But two heads are better than one, remember?" Reluctantly, Olivia agreed, and they spent the next few hours working together. Their hands brushed occasionally, sending sparks through both of them. The tension was very obvious, and as they finished their assignment, Minho couldn't resist leaning in. "You're not so bad, you know," he said softly. Olivia's heart raced. "Neither are you." Before they knew it, their lips met in an unexpected kiss, filled with the chemistry and tension that has been building between them. Olivia pulled away quickly, her cheeks flushed, and hurried out of the library, leaving Minho staring after her in surprise. A few days later, their professor announced a surprise quiz. Olivia and Minho exchanged competitive glances, each determined to outdo the other. When the results were posted, Olivia had scored higher than Minho. "Looks like I won you this time," Olivia teased, a playful smile lighting up her eyes. Minho smirked. "Don't get too comfortable. I will catch up soon." Their bickering continued, but there was a new layer of friendship in their interaction. The chemistry between them was undeniable, and their classmates couldn't help but notice. Their next challenge came in form of a group project. Their professor, noticing the competition between them, decided to pair them up. Olivia and Minho groaned inwardly, but knew they had no choice. As they worked on the project, their competition continued. They argued over every detail, from the presentation format to the research sources. But despite the argument, there were moments of understanding and connection. One evening, as they were finalizing their project, Minho reached for a book at the same time as Olivia. Their hands touched, and they both froze. The tension between them was electric. "Why do we always quarrel?" Olivia asked, her voice barely above a whisper. "Maybe because we are too similar," Minho replied, his eyes locked on hers. Their face inched closer, and once again they found themselves sharing a passionate kiss. This time it was deeper, filled with the realization that the rivalry had only brought them closer. Olivia pulled away quickly, her heart pounding, and ran out of the room, leaving Minho standing there breathless. Their relationship continued to be a mix of bickering and chemistry. Every meeting was marked by playful arguments and teasing touches. They couldn't help but challenge each other, but it only made their bond stronger. One afternoon, they were studying together in the park. Olivia was trying to explain a complex concept to Miho, who was being stubborn as usual. "You're not listening," Olivia said. "I'm listening," Miho replied. "I just don't agree with you." Olivia rolled her eyes. "You are impossible." And Miho replied, "And you love it," a mischievous grin on his face. Despite their constant competition, they couldn't deny the chemistry that was always between them. Their hands would brush, their eyes would lock, and the tension would build until they couldn't resist each other any longer. One evening, after a particularly heated argument, Miho took Olivia's hand. "I'm sorry," he said, his voice sincere. "I don't want to quarrel with you anymore." Olivia squeezed his hand. "Me neither. Let's work together, not against each other." From that moment on, they became a team. They continued to challenge each other, but it was no longer about competition. It was about growth, support, and love. Their relationship reached a turning point during a late-night studies section. They were both exhausted but determined to finish their work. As they sat side by side, their hands brushed once again, sending a familiar spark through both of them. Miho looked at Olivia, his eyes filled with emotion. "I love you," he said, his voice barely above a whisper. Olivia's heart swelled with happiness. "I love you too." Their lips met in a tender, passionate kiss, sealing their commitment to each other. The tension and chemistry that defined their relationship now served to strengthen their love. Olivia pulled away, her cheeks flushed, and ran out of the room, leaving Miho smiling to himself. A few weeks later, Miho decided it was time to make their relationship official. He planned a special evening for Olivia, wanting to create a moment they would both cherish. He invited her to a quiet, secluded spot in the park where they often studied together. The area was beautifully decorated, and a picnic basket was spread out with their favorite snacks. Olivia arrived, her heart fluttering with anticipation. Miho greeted her with a warm smile and took her hand, leading her to the blanket. "This is beautiful," Olivia said, her eyes shining with appreciation. "I wanted to make something special for you," Miho replied, his voice soft. They sat down, enjoying the peaceful atmosphere and each other's company. As the evening progressed, Miho took a deep breath, gathering his courage. "Olivia," he began, his voice filled with emotion, "I've been thinking a lot about us, about how we started as rivals and how we have grown closer. I can't imagine my life without you." Olivia's heart raced as she listened to his words. Her eyes locked onto his. "I want us to be more than just study partners or friends," Miho continued. "I want you to be my girlfriend. Will you?" The tension between them was electric, and Olivia felt a surge of happiness. "Yes, Miho," she replied, her voice filled with emotion. "I want that too." Their lips met in a passionate kiss, filled with the chemistry and love that had been building between them. Olivia and Miho graduated at the top of their class, proud of their achievements and the love they had found. As they stood together on the graduation day, Miho took Olivia's hand. "We did it," he said, smiling. "Yes, we did," Olivia replied, her eyes shining with happiness. After a long and emotional graduation ceremony, Olivia and Miho found themselves alone in Miho's apartment. The room was softly light, creating a warm and intimate atmosphere. Miho took Olivia's hand, his touch sending a familiar jolt of electricity through her. "I can't believe we did it," he said, his eyes filled with pride and love. "We did it together," Olivia replied, her heart swelling with happiness. They stood in the silence for a moment, the tension and anticipation hanging in the air. Miho gently brushed a lock of her hair from her face, his finger lingering on her cheek. The simple touch ignited a fire between them. "I love you," Miho said, his voice filled with emotion. "I love you too," Olivia said, her heart racing. Their lips met in a tender kiss, their hands exploring each other's faces, tracing every line and curve. The chemistry between them was undeniable, and the love they shared made the moment even more special. As they moved to the bed, Mio took Olivia's hand once more. Their fingers joined together. The connection between them deepened with every touch and kiss, and they had their first night together, exploring each other. The end. So add you to the story. Please don't forget to comment down, tell me what you think about it, what I can do better, and please don't forget to click on the subscription button, like this video. Thank you.